The youngest world sprint champion, 2011, Yohan Blake. Welcome to India, Yohan. And did you see the roads of India? You were in Mumbai for a couple of days. What do you think of the roads of Mumbai?
First and foremost, I just want to say thanks for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here for a worthy cause. Take some time out of my training to be here because what I come for is not an easy one. And as you said before, the road of India is crazy. And for me to come on board with this World Series, this Sports World Series, is a blessing.
Yes, in fact, you'll be startled to know that India has one of the highest accident rates, road accident rates in the world for such a big country. And this is Mumbai is the business capital of India. Do you think there's something wrong with the system of India?
Based on before I came to India, I watch a lot of IPL cricket, and when they take a tour into the city, and the city is jam-packed with bike, with cars, and everybody going different directions. I'm saying this is crazy. This is madness. And when I hear about this World Series tackling traffic, I said this is a good cause. I jump on board with it and say I have to do this because a lot of kids, a lot of people are losing their life every minute.
Yeah, but as you rightly said, that when you see the vignettes of when you see an IPL match, they show clippings of a city, and there are millions of people driving around trying to throng the stadiums. How would you compare that to an Olympic event? Maybe you've done your first Olympics in London 2012, yes. And then you see IPL on television, and today you've seen the Mumbai roads. So what's the first thing that comes to your mind? You said that this is crazy.
London was my first Olympics, yes, and it was jam-packed. But India is on a different level. You're talking about the Olympics, the greatest show on earth. But with so much people in India, and when the IPL is coming on, when everybody's rushing to the stadium, you can't see the roads. When the players video traffic, it's crazy. You cannot see the road. You're seeing bikes, seeing cars. And I'm saying, as a government, as a country, you have to take a stand.
And also, not only the traffic, we have another big problem, that's pollution.
Oh yes, and also the pollution is crazy, because even the other day I was watching cricket, West Indies versus Bangladesh, and I could see they're in mass and everything. So it was crazy, and you have to tackle that as well, because that alone, the fuels, I can't even go outside and train.
In Delhi, we have one of the world's biggest marathons called the Delhi Marathon, and a lot of Kenyan athletes come and compete. Would you ever run 100 meters in India?
I would love to run a 100 meter in India, to record the fastest time on soil in India. So that's a good idea. That's something I'm looking forward to.
Instead of maybe doing a World Series T20, if Usain Bolt and maybe Yohan Blake ran an exhibition 100 meters, it would perhaps draw a larger crowd.
That's an interesting one, because cricket is the #1 sport in India, and I love cricket. It's my first love. I love to play in the World Series as well, and I would do both. I would do both.
Yes, because India is not an athletics country. India is a cricket country, and maybe you link better with cricket. The fact that when you play a Master Series with somebody like Sachin, Lara, Sehwag, I mean, it's amazing. Just can't think about it. And we like to tell our viewers that Yohan started his life as a fast bowler.
Definitely.
And maybe when you end your athletics career, you want to become a fast bowler and play for the West Indies?
No, I'd rather play for Bangalore.
You mean RCB?
RCB, yeah. But of course, after track and field, definitely I'm going to take up cricket. That's my first love, and anything to come to India and to help. And there's a lot of athletes here that wanted me to come India for a very long time. Everybody trying to meet up with me right now, which is hard because I'm here on business. So we can plan that for the future, of course.
Yes, because India don't have good sprint athletes. We have middle distance runners. But do you think what are the areas that we need to develop to become a nation with some quality athletics?
India, with so much people, with so much talent, And I think if you guys get the proper coach, the proper people to come in and talk to the kids and encourage them, show them a different side of the world, show them a different side of sprinting, show them a different love for the sports. I definitely, with so much people, there have to be more than one talent you can find.
You're just 29. Your birthday is coming up, December 26th, and London was your first Olympics. You won the silver behind Usain. You also won the silver behind Usain the 200 meters. You won the relay gold. Yeah, and Tokyo is obviously your next destination. Looking at your performance after 2012, I would be more specific. Looking at the World Championship in Doha, how are you prepared for Tokyo?
Well, in life there's a lot of ups and downs, which injuries get the best of me after 2012. But I think I'm running back into shape. I think I'm right where I want to be. And also, right now it's been a month and like 2 weeks now, I start preparation for the Tokyo 2020, and it's going according to plan with my new training coach, Gregory Little. I think he understands my body, and he think we're in the right direction. So preparation is in place. As I said before, I take some time out of my busy schedule to come here and just to promote this World Series. And
Usain once called you the beast. The kind of work ethics you have, the kind of training that you do. And many of your photographs have that beast-like posture. And can we see the beast winning the gold medal in Tokyo?
Definitely. That's the aim for me. I got that name because of how vigorously I trained. I would call it passive-aggressive. Gently, but very dangerous when I'm training. So I'm looking forward for the Tokyo, and definitely I can see not the beast, but something greater than the beast in Tokyo.
There's a lot of talk about this US sprinter called Christian Coleman. He won the gold medal in Doha, and he did it pretty easily. And do you think he is a formidable opponent?
Taking nothing away from him, I think he's a really good sprinter. One for the future. I remember back in my days, which I am still the youngest world champion, 100-meter world champion, and he's a very exciting one. I'm always looking forward to compete against him, and it's going to be interesting in Tokyo. Just some more pressure and you can crack, so I'm not worried.
Age is definitely not a factor when you have a Gatlin running at 37 and winning a silver medal. Is age a factor?
I would say age is not a factor. It's how well you take care of your body, and it's how well you put out yourself in training, and training is smart.
And if you say age is not a factor, then do you think it was the right time for Bolt to go?
It wasn't the right time for him to go, but he has done everything. That's what he said. He has done everything and he has won everything. So what's the sense? And track and field is very unforgiving. As you see, his last race, he didn't do so well. So it was the right time.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Because whenever we talk about Superman athletes like Bolt, like Muhammad Ali made comebacks. He did well in his comebacks. He lost, of course.
That's true.
Do you ever see Bolt making a comeback?
No. Boxing is a rhythm. Track and field, you have to be training constantly to get your form, to get your rhythm. No injuries. No. You have to be careful of your body posture. It's very different. It's one of the hardest sports in the world.
100 meters and 200 meters.
100 meter and 200 meter. If you compare a Brian Lara 400 batting for how much days and a sprinter that's his training for 4 years non-stop to break 10 seconds running 9.58 is not easy.
Yes, true. Like, for example, Bolt did this quite repeatedly. Even you did it, sub 10. I think there have been events in a world championship when 4 runners have run under 10. And yet, you did not win a medal running under 10. So, running under 10, how would you kind of think running under 10 and this man called Ulid Kipchoge, he ran the marathon under 12, 2 hours. Don't you think these are superhuman? You need superhuman efforts to do this.
Well, Well, what he did and run under 2 minutes, that's different.
2 hours.
2 hours. And playing with the people, I think you can go faster. And some athlete is born superhuman. And you're right about that. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Bolt, you trained with Bolt. What was so special about him? I mean, he was quite inspirational. We have read interviews about him speaking about you. He was quite inspirational. But do you think when you were running on the track, you were an opponent, right?
I think we didn't race as much. We trained a lot, but we didn't race as much. I think the coach didn't make us race a lot, and he's different. He's tall. When you take in one stride, when you're taking 2 strides, he's taking one. He's a different athlete. It was just his time and his movement.
What about his psyche? I mean, what is it that made him a thunderbolt and you a beast?
I guess his mindset is different from everybody else. He always believe in nothing can break him, and I know I could have break him. It's just because different trainings mix up, but it's a long story.
Yeah, but you're not saying everything about it. Do you regret not competing with Bolt as many times as you have wanted? Because you have beaten him in 100 and 200.
I do regret it, and it's not my fault. I think it's my ex-coach fault that we didn't race as much, but that's behind us, so I'll just look into the future.
Yeah, but this change of coach, a lot of athletes do it, a lot of cricketers do it, a lot of individual athletes do it. How would you define the role of a coach?
To be there every time, to check on you, to see how you're doing, make sure that you're eating right, make sure that everything is going according to plan. Yes, we're our own person, but I think the coach should check in and make sure that everything and our social life is going according to plan, because it's not what you do on the track, it's what you do off the track. It's also affecting your performance when it comes to the track.
Yohan, I mean, you said about Bolt that, a lot of people forget that you were the youngest 100-meter champion. A lot of people like us who really don't get to see so much of Yohan Blake, we thought that Blake always lived in the shadows of Bolt.
I think 2011, when I won the World Championship, changed all of that. Also, when I ran in 1926, and also when I ran in 1969, changed all of that, because when you're living in a era of we're dominated by the Bolt, is different. And to step out of that shadow, to be the man, is not easy, because when the world is penetrating on one person. But I think I did step away, creating my own self with all of those time.
Do you think Tokyo is the time when people will say, this is the man we really saw, that this is the man that he could have beaten Bolt? There's pressure on you on winning the gold at Tokyo. Let me put it this way.
Yeah, definitely. Winning an Olympic, winning a World Championship is not so much as winning an Olympic medal or Olympic gold. That's everybody's dream. And to wait every 4 years, you don't know what's going to happen in year 1, year 2, or year 3. But to wait 4 years for that event and to win that goal is magical, and that's what everybody's aiming for, and that's what I'm going for.
Is that your ultimate dream?
That's the ultimate dream.
What happens if you win the gold in Tokyo? Do you call it quits, or you want to?
Well, even if I don't win the gold, in that's going to be my last Olympics. I'm venture off in my cricket.
Oh, that's nice, because Bolt wanted to play football. He was not successful.
That's for him. But I know I'm very good at what I do in cricket, and I'm looking forward.
West Indies needs bowlers like you.
Yeah, definitely, but I'm not going to play for the West Indies. I'm going to play franchise cricket. Franchise cricket,
but are you sad the way West Indies cricket has gone?
Definitely we're sad because of bad management, but I think we're somewhere looking forward to what's coming to the forefront, because we changed all of that management, and we're in India now, going to see how we match up against that wonderful era of cricket in India.
You mentioned about London 12, which was your first Olympics. The stadiums were packed. I was myself present there covering the event. Of course, we were following the Indian contingent, not so much about Bolt and Yohan Blake. But what will be Tokyo minus Bolt?
Minus, I think people are looking for the next exciting talent. the next exciting person. You have someone Noel Eyes, as you say, Chris Coleman. You have Fred Curley. You have Michael Newman. You have good athlete coming up, and just take Bolt out of the occasion, out of the equation. There's still athletes out there, and also there's this 400-meter runner from India as well. She is doing very well.
Do you have any idea about Indian athletics?
Yeah, I do. I have great friends with them. I was with them in Doha. They have a wonderful 4x4 team as well, and they have a wonderful team. Me and the guys get along really well.
The women are actually better than the men.
Well, the man is coming forward. They have as I said, the men have a good 4x4 team, and I think they're qualified for the Olympics.
If Yohan, you were supposed to pick 3 big competitors for Tokyo, who would they be?
I would say Noel Eyes, definitely Chris Coleman, Akani Sanbini.
And this grass, the Canadian?
Yeah, you said pick 3, that's 4, and DeGrasse.
So Coleman, yes.
Yeah, Coleman, Noel Lyons, Akani Sanbini, and DeGrasse, yeah.
Tokyo Olympics will be different from other Olympics for that, there's something called gender equality law. 50% will be the maximum times women's medal events for women will be the highest. Do you think that's a fair decision?
No, I don't think that's a fair decision. That's a stupid decision by the IAF and the governing body, because I was born, because I was born with more estrogen. That means you must stop me from competing. And I feel very much for the female runners, and that's the way they're born. That's how God made them.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not just the World Athletics; it is the IOC which endorses it. And since Moscow, the last 40 years, the number of events for women have only gone up. Now there will be more than the men. So in a way, do you think that's not a right balance, right?
No, I think he's right. The men always treat fairly, but I think the women, they have been on the look, and I think it's time now for them to push them forward.
But not this way.
But not that way. Because
they have added events in boxing, canoeing. So these are events which are not really in the spotlight. They are, of course, you guys always take away the spotlight, the sprinters. But it's all about, that extra edge. That when in 1996, I saw Michael Johnson. Then earlier when we saw Carl Lewis on television, and then we saw Blake and not Blake, Bolt in London. We thought, oh, that's it. There can't be any more. But as you said, that the world always looks for the next Superman.
Yeah, and I believe in every era and every generation, there are going to be people who was faster. Remember, they think that no one could do a 9.6 or 9.5, and look, it's happening now. And as technology go along and as people evolve, it's going to get faster. I believe so.
So it's going to get faster.
Yeah, it's going to get faster, and I believe that if the Chinese is producing great sprinters that is running 9, I believe Indians can do that as well.
Oh, that's a great observation.
Yeah, because you're talking about genetics, and I believe the genetics of an Indian is different from the genetics of an Asian runner or Chinese. And if you see the scientific behind that, they have greater, faster twitch.
Maybe our genetics are more tuned to cricket.
Probably, but you have how much billion people? Of course, you can find a big sprinter.
We spoke about an Olympics minus Bolt. Can you imagine an Olympics minus Russia?
That's an interesting topic, But they always produce good runners, and it's going to be. They're fighting for it, so hopefully it comes true.
Do you think that you handle doping? You 3 months you served a ban, and it seems from outside that athletics is all about cheating. You agree?
I don't think it's all about cheating. I think it's the way is everybody wants to be on the top, and training training. I tell you, is one of the hardest training in the world, to put your body, your mind through all of that, and some people can't handle it, and they use different type of heavy steroids to do that.
Yeah, but don't you think the role of the coach is very important here? I mean, what to administer? Do you think you really need those additional stuff to make your performance better?
You don't need no additional stuff. You just need the right stuff that is not illegal and that is legal and that can help you. Food alone cannot carry the body. Water, Gatorade alone cannot carry the body. What we break down 500,000 calories per day to come back less than 24 hours to train and do it again is not easy. That's why some people take drugs.
Yeah, but when you were kind of found that you had taken something, that the drug you took was not on the list of WADA.
Yeah.
And it was found out, so your ban was just about 3 months. But yet they took you off the relay team, the World Championship.
Yeah, they took me off the relay team. And it was bitter chaos and madness because what I was taking is just a regular plant-based supplement, you know, and well, they apologized to me for that, which damaged a little bit of my career, but it was just messed up. It was just crazy. I wasn't taking anything because I was naturally fast from high school. If you watch me coming up.
Yes, not only you. Even Bolt, for example, seemed to be pretty clean.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, genetics and is just taking care of the body and taking the right stuff. That is not illegal.
And that means they take some stuff, right?
Yeah, you take natural supplement. That is not illegal.
And why is it that the Indians don't know how to do this?
Yeah.
We have a national doping agency.
That's why you need, as you say, you need a proper coach. You need a proper nutrition who can say, okay, this is what your body maximizes per day. This is what you need, and that's why I'm going to keep. What's my plan in India is I'm going to come almost every summer before and have a summer camp, building some of the Indian athletes.
Okay, so did you have any talks with anyone?
Not yet.
But you wish to do it?
It's part of my mission. I wish to do it.
Oh, so we can see Yohan Blake as an Indian coach someday?
I would love to come here and develop athletics in India because they have a great potential for that, and there's so much people in India.
But you need to really pinpoint on this particular people who can run fast, which they are. There are people.
There are a lot of people, and India is very big, and we are going now throughout India to do that.
Yohan, what do you think of WADA's role in this doping? Because doping has really become a worldwide issue. And, a lot of people think that there's a lot of politics in it because, the British want to underplay US wants to underplay Russia. Do you think it's a big mess and there's a lot of politics behind doping?
Everything you're doing is a lot of politics. Of course, there's a lot of politics, and people is covering up for people. And what I see going on, even in London, and with WADA, and even in the US with what happened to Chris.
Yes.
They said it is madness. They look up for their athlete. Let's say that.
And you mentioned cover up, right? So it's obviously anything to do with cover has to be politically natured.
Definitely. They don't want their country to look bad, and so they try everything to cover that up.
If you were heading the IOC, how would you let Russia participate in the Olympics?
I would fire everyone, and I would fire everybody on the board, and start fresh.
They have already fired.
And start with the athlete well, they said the good have to suffer for the bad, but we have to give some. I'll give them a next chance.
Yes, because there are many athletes who are clean.
Suffering.
Yes.
Many athletes that is coming up that are suffering.
Yeah, because that means you agree that you cannot have an Olympics minus Russia.
Yeah. You have to include Russia. They are very good in a lot of things.
There's a feeling in the media that the WADA is like the mafia. Whomever they want, they can get them out. And India is suffering because of WADA.
Yeah, I heard that talk before, and I try to stay away from it, because I don't really want to have nothing with WADA. I just try to stay away from it.
Right. Yeah, I think you can stay as long as you're clean and training hard.
Definitely.
You have nothing to do with WADA.
I get tested almost every minute, so.
You mentioned about Christian. Christian also is in controversial circumstances because he missed a couple of testing, and for a boy who's just 23, do you think he's a great example for future athletes?
Yeah, and as I say, I think the sport is dying a little because of the doping scandals, and the sponsors is really backing out. And for to Christopher Coleman, it was the leading world time in the world, and for him to come and compete, everybody look at it as a big cover up.
You mentioned a very great thing, that the sponsors are backing out, the sponsors are backing out, then the sport itself is taking a hit. People say, oh, there's so much of cheating. It's something we saw in IPL. If you know, there was a lot of scandal with match fixing and betting. And athletics also going through a similar phase. And you mentioned about the role of the coaches. So like, for example, Salazar had that Nike program. And it has also come under a lot of spotlight, and with especially after Mo Farah split.
As you see, that's what I'm telling you. Everything that's in the dark always come to light, and I think there's a lot more there's a lot more going to come out, and it's just a matter of time. And I see a lot of match fixing going on as well with Suresh North, and it's just coming back, and you know, so it's crazy.
You said something interesting. You said a lot more is going to come out.
Exactly. There's a lot. Everything is taking its time coming out, and I believe in the near future there's a lot more going to become. There's a lot more to come out. So we just give it time.
Oh, the police will be hearing you, and they'll ask you, what is it that you know that's a lot more going to come out? But jokes apart, I'm saying that athletics. Why is it that always the sprinters are under? It started with Ben Johnson when we started, and then of course there were other sprinters. Of course now the latest is Christian Coleman.
I don't know. It's just they want to get faster and be more explosive, and just take less time to break 9 seconds. They want to break that world record, so they will try everything to do that.
So the next level is 9 seconds.
Yeah, I think so. To break the 9.58 barrier.
Did you ever feel pressured by your sponsors?
Yeah.
That you have to do this, you must achieve this.
Otherwise,
I will not be able to sell my product.
You always have to be in the limelight. You always have to be in the spotlight. You always have to match up to what they give you to run for the season. If they want 10 100 meters, you have to run the 10 100 meters, and you have to be in the top 5 in the world, finishing for the year. So it's always pressure. It's not easy running for the sponsor when they want certain things and their brand to be highlighted.
You mentioned about always wanting to be on the spotlight. A glaring example is perhaps Tiger Woods, for whatever reason, but his sponsors backed out. But look at this man's ability to come back.
See, that's what I look at, and I say, if Tiger Woods can make that comeback, and many times I'm feeling down, I say, look at Tiger Woods winning the Masters. I think he win the US Open again, and everybody wants to be on Tiger Woods' team again. So it's just the ability to come back.
Can I ask you whether he is one of your heroes, somebody you would like to emulate?
No, not really, no. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson? Why?
Yeah. Change the world, and I want to make a change in the world, just like I want to make a change in India.
Okay, and thanks for speaking to Outlook. You've come on a big mission, which is the road safety of India. And it'll be wonderful to have you back in India again as an athletics coach. Can we make a headline that Yohan Blake wants to coach Indian athletes?
Definitely, you can make that headline, me and Laura Pearson.
Thank you, Yohan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pleasure
all the time.
Thank you.